Welcome back to AM Northwest. In celebration of National Family Caregivers Awareness Month, a Portland woman's debut documentary will air on TVs across the country. Wine, Women, and Dementia honors and celebrates the moments of hilarity and heartbreak those caring for loved ones with dementia face.
One of the toughest times was my grandmother in that end stage. And that part of it was because I had my mother too, who really, I don't know that she really understood everything that was going on. So it was really me on my own.
Some of the people who I thought would really be there for us weren't. People who I thought would be absolutely instrumental in helping make the journey easier for us were not there.
And it was just infuriating to me because I was looking for somebody to help. And there just wasn't anybody.
Here to share more, we welcome documentary filmmaker Kitty Norton. Good to see you again, Kitty.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's remind viewers, how did this all start?
Well, it all started with my sister and I co-caring for my mom.
Yeah.
She was living with vascular dementia, and we co-cared from 2016 until she died in March of 2021. And during that time, I wrote a blog about our experiences, just the day-to-day living in dementia, and you know, the funny things that happen, and the terrible things that happen, and the terrible things you sometimes think about as you're a family caregiver.
Yeah.
And that connected with caregivers all around the world. And I ended up making friends with caregivers who I had never met in person. You know, we became friends through email or comments on the blog, or we met in forums that we both, you know, utilized. And after Mom died, I thought, I needed some escape. And I thought, you know what, I want to go meet 5 of these people in particular in the US. I want to get in my car and drive and bring them a pizza and a bottle of wine, and I just want to sit out and process what we've done and talk about it. And that's how it got going. And I thought, well, those conversations might be really helpful for other caregivers.
Right. So
let's see if there's a movie in this.
So you were filming it. You started filming it. What did you learn, and who did you connect with? Those stories there, just those, were really powerful, because oftentimes people who are caregivers really do realize no one's there to help them.
Right, right. It's extremely isolating.
Right.
The people that I connected with, we all kind of coalesced around the fact that we all were using humor to help us get through this journey. Wasn't the only thing in our toolkit, but it was a big part.
Right.
So it was kind of scary going to these people's houses thinking, you know, I'm in Trapp, Pennsylvania, or it's not like I just drive home that night.
Right.
You know, I'm parking in your driveway with my ridiculously large RV and spending the evening. So I hope we like each other.
Yeah. But you ended up having a great time.
Oh,
honestly,
it was
right?
wonderful. It was amazing.
And when you talk about the humor, there is a lot of humor in caring for someone with dementia, even though other people might see it as dark humor or might not understand it, but you understand it.
Correct. Well, and my family always had a sense of humor, especially about the absurdities of human nature. And there's really nothing more absurd than some of the dementia antics that can show up in your household.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So even my mom, you know.
Give me one with your mom.
Well, Mom's favorite thing, even though she became nonverbal really early, her favorite thing was to kind of hide behind a door and pop out and go, boo. You know, she was this tiny little woman in her little white nightie, and you'd be like, good Lord, Mother.
Yeah.
You know, scaring the crap out of me.
Yeah.
She just had a really good sense of humor. You know, she loved to smile. She loved to meet people. She was very timid her whole entire life, but dementia actually gave her a very good sense of herself.
Yeah.
The inhibitions dropped.
But every person with dementia is different, right? I mean, it affects them differently.
Correct, but there's commonalities in the journey. And that's one thing I don't think caregivers nobody fills us in on that. Like, you're most likely going to go through sundowners with your person.
Explain what sundowners is.
Usually anywhere from 4 to 6 o'clock in the evening, things just get much more wacky. Yeah, there's a lot more confusion. Sometimes it's depression or sadness. And that's really common. The rage stage, not as common, but it may be in your future.
Yeah.
Hallucinations, paranoia, that could be something that your person goes through. The financial
It's huge.
situation, you're probably going to run into some real difficulties there. You know, I had to leave my job, my career, to take care of my mom. Luckily, she had resources, but that took out my prime earning years.
Right,
you
right.
know?
And it really stresses family relationships. You and your sister had an issue at one point.
We had a big issue prior to mom getting
Yeah.
dementia. Yeah. But we had to come together to do this.
Right.
And it wasn't always easy, and we weren't always happy with each other, but we knew we had to work together because neither one of us could have taken care of mom as we did
Right.
on our own.
And finding, like that poor woman, trying to find someone to help along the way, because oftentimes caregivers also have health issues going on because they've spent all their energies going to take care of the person with dementia.
Well, you know, my dad died of pancreatic cancer from death to diagnosis in 3 weeks.
Wow.
And my mom's dementia didn't kill my father,
Yeah.
but he was so exhausted and so wrapped up into her needs. You know, he might have gotten a diagnosis maybe a year earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have had a couple more years.
Yeah.
This is very common
Absolutely.
for caregivers to not take care of themselves and to end up with their own health issues.
Yeah, we want to tell everyone Wine, Women, and Dementia. It's a great piece, by the way. Airs Thursday, November 7th at 7 p.m. on OPB and anytime on the PBS app. Thank you so much, Kitty.
Thank you.
Yeah.